Hi everybody, Raging back with another Mechabellum video. I've been trying to figure out how to use Hound for like the past week, and I think I'm finally starting to understand their role in the meta and how to position them better than how I have been. So in today's video, we're playing Technord, who is 1900 MMR. I know Technord has been around for a while, and I always enjoy playing against him. Technord is a defensive player, and I always find myself aggroing into him, so today I've gone with the Typhoon Specialist with the Steel Balls and the Hounds, and Technord has gone with Fortified Specialist. He's starting with Sabertooths and Crawlers. I think Sabertooths, were really good as a starting unit, but once they reduce their splash a little bit, they can't hit 2 Steel Balls as reliably. So because of that, I really like playing into them with the Steel Balls. Steel Balls have been really good lately. One of my favorite units to play in general, but also just really strong right now on the ladder. So I'm sort of I was thinking about how to position them, but I think I just ended up going with a recommended formation, and this was like a Sacco formation. So I was like, all right, well, we'll give it a go, Hounds in front of the Steel Balls and just Crawlers right behind the Steel Balls. So this way we do probably lose a couple Steel Balls to the first Saber shots, but then the Crawlers will immediately push forward past them and should allow the Steel Balls to clear out the Arc Lights and the Sabertooths, and hopefully the Hounds can take out the Crawlers here. And I actually position all of it back one so that there's 3 spaces in the front. That way the Hounds won't get missiled out as easily. So like I said, we are going to lose some Steel Balls here to the first shot of the Sabertooth, but then Hounds will clear the Crawlers. Crawlers run forward and distract the Arc Light and the Sabertooths, and we're chilling. This round should be ours. We have the Assassin Steel Balls, so we take round 1. Very nice first round here. Actually, we did get a level on our Steel Balls, and the second round, Heavy Armor, I snap picked the Heavy Armor. There's an underground threat for me to worry about this turn, but 16.4k Steel Balls, it takes 3 shots for Sabertooth to kill them, so this is a beast right now. So I need to figure out, for the rest of this turn, I need to try and deal with the underground threat that is definitely going to be right behind me. So I have a couple options. I can go with Crawlers. Right now I'm thinking about possibly unlocking a Wasp, sticking it right behind my Steel Balls, but 50 unlock, 200 cost unit means I only get to get 1, and I really don't want to miss deployments. As an aggro player, when you're on aggro, you need all of your chaff, as much as you can possibly get, because I need to be creating distractions, I need to be solving the potential future missiles, and so what I go with is I go with a couple Hounds behind here. Should take care of any Crawler flanks, as well as the underground threat. It ends up not being as good as I thought it would be. I think in hindsight, I would have rather gone with 2 packs of Crawlers instead, because the Hounds actually die to this, which I've never tried to put Hounds back there like this, but it didn't work. And because we're going to get debuffed because some Crawlers live, we will end up losing the round here. So I think Hounds as a defensive unit back here is not as good as just getting Crawlers. This was sort of an experimental play for me. But yeah, we will lose the round because of the underground threat, but we do have the Heavy Armor Steel Balls, which are still pretty good since his Sabertooths haven't leveled yet. On round 3, we get a couple really good options here. So I immediately, my eyes go to the Mustang. Level 3 Mustang is should be auto pick basically for aggro players, but the Phantom Rays are also showing here, and Phantom Rays with armor would brick the Mustangs immediately. So I'm deciding between Mustang and Phoenixes. Do I want to take the risk, go with Mustang? Opponent does go with Phoenixes, or do I want to go with Phoenixes in case of the Rays, right? But I'm thinking he probably doesn't take armor this turn on Rays, so I might as well go with the Mustang, at least for this turn, and I should probably just immediately range it since I have enough money for other deployments. And then next turn, if I need Phoenixes to deal with Phantom Rays, I can do that. When you get the level 3 Mustang, you should probably just click the range enhancement. Since it's so strong, it will kill the whole board a lot of the time. I do add some crawlers here to eat any missiles that might bother my hounds here in the corner, and also distract these arclights and phoenixes. And then I have another pack of crawlers that I'd like to put somewhere, so I sort of just beef up my potential like flank defenses, and also I'll have more delay here, since all of his units sort of walk to the left. It's a pretty good delay for like the right side to protect my tower. So I think I end up, yeah, leveling these hounds over here as well. So let's see how well these Mustangs do. He is oiling us, and he's gone with Phoenix, so I'm glad I took the Mustangs. Basically, these Mustangs, so because all my units will get super slowed down through the oil, we will still kill this Sabertooth, which is nice because we're preventing it from leveling. Everything basically will die because Phoenixes are pretty good against the steel balls early on in the game. But the Mustangs here, even though they're slowed, I gave them the range, so they'll be able to win the round for us. But we will pretty much lose everything else. If he had range on arc lights this turn, he would be able to kill my Mustangs. I actually like the Hounds. Like, usually I'll play arc lights on aggro instead of the Hounds, but I guess Hounds are pretty good, even just to run forward. Like, you can give them range, you can give them mech rage, you can give them all kinds of stuff. By the way, portable shield here is really, really good for steel balls, since he's running Sabertooth. It just takes Sabertooth so long to like be shooting steel balls like that many times with the portable shield. And we also have our free Typhoon this turn. But I like the Hounds because, like, especially against, so he doesn't have charge shot yet on arc lights. I guess that's a counter. People like to do that against the Hounds, but against Sabertooth specifically, I think he should have Scorpions. I think he should be getting rid of these Sabertooths, not leveling them, getting Scorpions, because my whole board just dies to Scorpions. And now that I have Typhoon as well, it's Typhoon was also bad against Scorpion, so this is a mistake, I think, keeping Sabertooth, and also leveling Sabertooth. Should be selling them, getting Scorpions. Since he also knows that I'm Typhoon Specialist, he could, like, prepare Scorpions last round for the inevitable, especially since I also have Steel Balls and Hounds. Sabertooth is one-shotting these. He's only killing one Hound at a time. Sorry, I haven't really talked about the turn. He has an Orbital here. I've gone with the Steel Balls with the Port Shield. Make a little pocket here. These Typhoons are going to chaff clear. I add some chaff so that we can distract these units, and the Steel Balls should be able to kill the Sabertooth. That's the idea here. And I do suspect the Orbital, so I beacon out of the oil with these Steel Balls, and we're going to go over here. But the Orbital will probably kill our Mustangs. In hindsight, I think I would have liked to mobile beacon my Mustangs out here to the left, since I rely on them a lot to win these rounds, and they've all been killed already. But we are getting in over here, like with the portable shield Steel Balls, but everything else has died over here on our left, and we don't have much alive here, so we will lose the round. Typhoons are actually doing like decent job here at not dying. We're close to getting a level, so if we can kill the tower and 2 more arc lights, we will get a level, but I don't think they have enough health to kill this guy now that we're losing this tower too. So Technord takes the round here, and it's a pretty good round. It's quite a bit of damage actually for me to take there. The oil in the Orbital is a little bit rough. Amplifying Core is really good item for my Mustangs. There's a very creative play I could have gone with last round where I put the portable shield on the Mustangs during the Orbital Bombard, but might as well just stick it on Steel Ball since it's just more reliable. Like I said, I'm going Amp Core on Mustangs here, and on this turn, there's another Underground Threat that he also grabs, so he has lots of spells here now. So I have to play around the Underground Threat again, and last time the Hounds didn't cut it, so I'm going to need to add some chaff back here this time. Opponent has lots of arc lights now. He's actually selling off Phoenix. So Phoenixes actually did kind of amazing for him last round, since they're really good against the Steel Balls. Yes, they died to Mustangs, but the utility and the damage of the Phoenixes, especially against these high HP Steel Balls, I think he should keep those, and instead of selling the Phoenixes, sell the Sabertooth and get Scorpions here. And I'm going to keep saying that like every round. He needs Scorpions here, and he's keeping Sabertooth. So, just, you know, it's like, I see how you could oversight, but the splash of the Scorpion, and especially if you get double shot, it doesn't even really need range. It just will pop these balls like in one shot, so I think he should be doing that. And not selling the Phoenixes. Phoenixes are really good for him. Since he has a speedy unit at the end, if he's able to clear all this, that takes the towers. I had another Mustang. The benefit of having these level 4 Mustangs with the Amp Core is he can no longer brick me with air armor, because they do enough damage. And even if he does make the play, I'll just click armor-piercing bullets, or I'll just click anti-air, and it'll be no problem for these Mustangs. So what I'd like to do is probably try and get more Mustangs with more levels as well, to have multiple units that can deal with armored air. That's why I go with Mustangs here. Plus I already have range on Mustangs, so I might as well get more of them. He's put the underground threat here, I guess because he wants to slow all this down, but I actually end up beaconing away into this direction with these units, which ends up being pretty lucky, and the Typhoon will just kill all these crawlers. Like I said, I add crawlers down here just in case, and we're going to go left this time. So he's taking charge shot on arc lights, and he has more arc lights. And I think he grabbed some fangs as well this turn. So good thing we went left here, since the underground threat would have distracted these steel balls for a long time. And if he had these Phoenixes here still, they would be shooting these steel balls. But because he doesn't, this steel ball gets in and takes the tower. I've also added energy absorption to make them tankier and also heal off of the Sabertooths to keep them alive longer. And we did get level 2 on Typhoon this turn as well. So I haven't really gone heavier into the Hounds yet, even though I've been talking about the Hounds. It wasn't really until the end of this game that I ended up sort of figuring out how I should be positioning and using them. So we both take speed here. I snap pick it since I'm a speed comp running at his towers. Another thing that my opponent probably should be doing is leveling his towers, since a lot of my strategy right now relies on taking his towers. I think he takes the speed on this turn specifically because he has the underground threat back up, so he wants to try and get this tower with it. I think that's not a bad play compared to the other things that were offered. Again, he sold this Phoenix, so last time the Phoenix actually managed to kill a lot of these steel balls before they got to the tower, but now he actually doesn't have either of the Phoenixes, and I think the reason he's selling them is because I have these high-level Mustangs, but he still just needs Scorpions, and the Phoenixes were still just good, so it's just a mistake. He does have Fangs in the front. Something I'd like to see is Fang Shield. Even though I have Mustangs and Typhoon, it still does take an extra shot to get through the Fangs, and then if he has Scorpions here, he's popping pretty much everything. On this turn, what he's done is he's grabbed Overlords, and again, it's like the Phoenixes are just better than the Overlords, so, and this is so expensive. This is such an expensive play. It's cost them all his money. It's 500 per boat, and it's like 250 for the unlock, so I think what he wants to achieve with these Overlords is actually the Overlords will end up doing less than what Scorpions would do. Plus, he doesn't run Chin Gun, and Chin Gun is kind of what you need against Steel Balls and Typhoon. So he doesn't even really have the right techs. So it's still just Scorpion, literally Scorpion, and the Phoenixes were good. Because I don't want to deal with these underground threats anymore, I take Impact Drill on Crawlers, and I add another Crawler over here, since it's pretty much my only weak spot, right? Like, if he's going to add it, he's adding it here, which he does, and I take the level on Typhoon this turn. I'm just thinking about what I'd like to add. I had some more Crawlers, and I'm noticing that if he chooses to missile the center here, since all my units sort of converge in like this, he adds a missile and blows up my Hound. It slows all of these units, including my Steel Balls, and then his Arc Lights will have a field day. So I just don't want my units to get slowed, so I'm adding some Crawlers right here in the front to eat missiles, just in case he decides to missile. And I do level these Crawlers as well, since they're actually doing like decently if they survive, since my Steel Balls do have a tendency to be surviving, and I also missile out his front chaff here. And I am taking speed like every turn, so we have 22 meter per second like Steel Balls, which is pretty crazy. And these Mustangs are awesome. These are like, this is ideal. You want your Mustangs to be huge like this with the amplifying cores. We did shut down his Crawlers with the Impact Drill, and now we're really flying in here. And without Phoenixes doing extra damage like they were, and he's relying on these Overlords to do a lot, Like, yeah, this Overlord did do the most damage on his team, but they're slow. They're really slow. And I already have, like, the crazy Mustangs that can easily kill them. So I think it's still just Scorpion. I'm going to say that. I keep saying that, but... So round 7, we get some units here. He immediately picks up Vulcan, which I think is probably correct for him since he needs fire on the ground to deal with the Mustangs. I could go with Farseer, Stormcallers, and Fortress. Level 2 Fortress, and I could just add Barrier to Fortress. I don't even need anything else. Protects all of my units, and his oil is up this turn. And he's either going here. I mean, he's always oiling here, right? Like, this is my strong side. He'll always oil here. So as long as I get like a Fortress with a barrier right here, it will block the oil. Something my opponent could be doing, actually, during this game, just to slow me down, is, yes, I sort of do have like defenses against crawlers and ground units back here, but I don't have any flying defense. And I haven't been doing that beacon trick that points my Mustangs backwards, and I don't have any missiles back here. He can stick a Phoenix here, since he already has it unlocked, and he can take my tower. It flies over all of my ground units. So that's definitely a play for him. Now that he has lots of giants, if it gets in and works, I might just like die in one turn since he has so much damage on the board. So that's definitely an idea he could be going with. And something I should be thinking about, but I actually don't defend against it, which is a mistake for me. Usually I mobile beacon I point the Mustangs back to defend myself, but I haven't been doing that like all game. I do go with the Fortress. Something opponent has done. He has Incendiary on Vulcan, which I think is good because it will burn the Stangs. That's a good idea. But he went with range on Fangs, and I think he just should have gone Port Shield. Range on Fangs is it's like a play to take if I have Wasps, and then you have like Fangs behind your tower that show up late or something. It also defends against flanks pretty well, but it's a little bit of a questionable play. I think just Port Shield would have been a lot better for him to slow down my push. I do go with the barriers, and I actually just put them right on the line since I'm pretty much just using the Fortress as a barrier against the oil. So I do stick it right here as well, which will block pretty much the majority of the oil on the ground and allow the Mustangs and Steel Balls to still get through to the tower. And I just get another one because I don't know where the oil is going to be, right? So I just kind of cover my bases. And I am loaning now and speeding and trying to end the game, basically, and pushing my units up here still. Something I've also actually not been doing this entire time, I've been grabbing the Steel Balls and Crawlers with my beacon and not my Mustangs. So the fire actually ends up being pretty good for him here, since it is burning my level 2 Mustangs as well as my level 5 Mustangs out here on the left now. And the Overlords here, actually, since I have no chaff on this side. This round went a lot better for my opponent. These Mustangs do survive fire a little bit, though, because they're pretty tanky. They're level 5 with Amp Core, so we still managed to win the round here, but it's very slim. One Fortress and Mustangs. And so, okay, now we get a couple options here. Pretty much, I'll pretty much always take additional deployment here on the last round. I'm scared of I'm looking at this improved War Factory, and I'm like, what if he throws this in front of me with armor? Like, do I lose? And I'm betting I don't, because I have these Steel Balls with healing. As long as we could connect to a War Factory, like, where's he going to put it? Right here? If he does it, they should still be able to kill it. So what he doesn't take that card. He goes with additional deployment, and I also end up going with additional deployment here. He's grabbed more Fangs. He has 2 more Overlords as well, which is very expensive, and I still think is a mistake. So he still just needs Scorpions, I swear. If he gets Scorpions, he sold the Sabretooth here and put another Vulcan for more fire. Scorpions in a flank probably do pretty well, since I'm still not defending them. I'd go with the additional deployment. So this is where the Hounds finally, I go with Fire Extinguisher here, since he has fire covering the board, and I need to keep my Mustangs alive, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach them to my little hit squads and just keep them right next to them so that the fire is put out as these units walk through. And then if the Hounds die, I still have these late Hounds to come up and still clear more. This was kind of awesome. Like, I have not used the Fire Extinguisher tech. And even Technord during this game was like, that was amazing. So let's see how well these hounds can do at clearing fire. And this is my first time ever doing this. Let's slow it down a little bit. So it's clearing the fire. There's no fire. There's no fire on the ground. It's all out already from the incendiary bombs. And hounds are also shooting while they fire extinguish, which allows the steel balls to actually connect a lot quicker than last round. Allows the steel balls to get in here and actually still get to the tower, which they didn't successfully do last turn. And we have all of our Mustangs alive, which was not the case last round. So all of the Mustangs are alive over here on the left, and it's just a kind of a slaughter here at the end. The hounds were amazing. And I'm definitely underestimating hounds lately, and I think a lot of people are, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about hounds and how they're not good. But they are good. So taking a look at the battlefield on the last round here, we only grabbed 3 level 2 hounds. These killed half of a fang pack, and these killed basically the equivalent of these crawlers up here. And all the while they're clearing chaff, they are putting out the fire, which was like, I mean, that's the intended use, but I haven't actually gotten it to work until right now. Pretty cool. I think I really like the hound, especially since fire usually does successfully burn my Mustangs, and it didn't here. So I'm probably going to use these guys a lot more. They're good chaff clear. They shoot the whole time that they also clear the fire, as well as acid if there was acid on the ground. I definitely have been underestimating these hound units, and I think basically I'm just going to attach them to like my little aggro pods, because I always end up creating these little like formations like this. So I think I'll just start to pair them throughout the game. I'll just add like 1 hound. I think what my opponent probably should have done this game is, instead of going as heavy as he did into the arc lights, he should still have arc lights. I don't necessarily think he needs charged shot. He definitely doesn't need overlords. I liked Phoenix's. Level 2 Phoenix, where each of these overlords is pretty nice. It's good against steel balls. It's good against typhoons. It's not as good against Fortress, since I could go AA, but Fortress was sort of a late unit that we ended up getting, and he does run... I saw that he ran the Quantum on the Phoenixes, so he could keep them alive that way. And then just Scorpions, like Scorpion here, Scorpion here, Scorpion here, Scorpion here. Doesn't even necessarily need range since I'm pushing into him. If I take range on steel balls or something, like if he does have Scorpions, he probably takes range on Scorpions, but just double shot is like going to be enough to like clear these guys, especially against these portable shield ones and these heavy ball ones. They have so much health, you need double shot Scorpions. So a very nice aggro win for us here, and I got to use the fire extinguisher, which I was very excited about. But something I want to do here is I want to try and win the round as Technord. Let's try something different. We're going to use Scorpions. Let's take over my opponent's side of the board here and see if we can win the round. For him, it's still additional deployment. And instead of getting 2 more overlords, actually, I just don't even really like the overlords. So I'm going to sell 1 of them since it gets us lots of money. Technord will always loan here since he's trying not to die. Like I said, we're going to unlock Scorpion. Let's get a Phoenix. Let's get a level 2 Phoenix. Since we only need 1 to shoot the tower, he'll need a beacon. I have no anti-air. And my Mustangs, I haven't been turning around and I haven't been missiling. Something he probably should be noticing. I don't think we need speed since he has the speed card. He needs these Scorpions. And this side is the problem side, right? So let's try and kill, because we need to kill these Mustangs really bad. And we should have enough for double shot. Yep. And is this a good spot for these? I think we need to missile this chaff so they don't look the wrong way. Let's just see how this does. I think this should win the round because of the flank. I have level 1 towers. So obviously there's no fire. There's no fire for him because we have the hounds, but the steel balls are dead. Okay, and now the Phoenixes will shoot the tower. Okay, they do shoot the tower. We kill the fortress here with the Scorpion that's here. I probably could have added a Scorpion over here on the left, actually, as well, so that this tower doesn't die. This Phoenix now is shooting this tower as well. We are killing. Okay, all my Mustangs are dead now. Yeah, I think this was a good play. Maybe a Scorpion over here on the left, though, would have been better. And I think he has the round, right? He should win the round here. Okay, he wins with the Phoenixes. But, I mean, at least he didn't lose the game, right? So, I think there's still a better play. I probably put one of those Scorpions over here on the left instead of tripling them up here like this. So, this Scorpion did a lot. This Scorpion didn't do as much. This Scorpion did a lot as well, and actually was the highest damage. So I think this Scorpion goes over here so that the steel balls don't take the tower here, and it would have been a much better win because it would have also cleared the Typhoons, which would have kept the boat damage alive as well. It just a flank like this, and like obviously he can't do it again next turn, right? But at least he doesn't die, and it saves him some damage. And then he now next turn, since he has additional deployment, he can sell this Overlord. He can get 4 double shot Scorpions and just riddle the board with them. And then I think at that point, there's probably a lot. I can't do as much since everything's getting bricked at that point. So yeah, Scorpions. He needed Scorpions way earlier, and they kill everything. They kill the Hounds. They kill the balls. They even kill the Mustangs. They kill my fortresses. It's like the perfect unit for him. So that is going to do it for today's video. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing. Let me know in the comments section how you've been liking or disliking Hound. How have you been using it? Have you been avoiding it? I think I've been avoiding it too long, but now I'm probably going to play it more often. Specifically, since I'm an aggro player, I'm going to run the fire extinguisher with my little hit squads like this. But anyway, again, thank you very much for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.